tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted.
All right, welcome to Tinfoil Hat live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Just go to samtripoli.gold, use the promo code TINFOIL, and you too can get in on the Paris Mails game for as little as $50 a month. Paris Mails sent right to your house. Let's go. Very excited to have our next guest on. He's got an amazing Twitter. He's a podcaster. He's got it going on. Very excited to finally have him on the show. Please welcome the illegitimate scholar, Sam Urban. How are you, brother?
Hey, Sam, thanks for having me on.
Honor and a pleasure. Sam, for those who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where our listeners can find you?
So I go by the illegitimate scholar online. I went to school to be a history teacher, quit that, and to do this instead. And I talk about anthropology, which is the study of humans. It includes archaeology and some of the other fields in there, a lot about cultures. And I write about that on Twitter a lot at ill_scholar. And I have a podcast and YouTube, Illegitimate Scholar.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's great. So you study humans. That's very interesting to me. What is that?
So actually, that'll get into, I guess, the field. But anthropology, what it literally means is the study of humans, and that's what the field is. And that field has its roots in the 19th century, like a lot of our modern fields. So there's like two things, right? The study of humans in just reality, which is, I don't know how in the weeds I want to get with this, but when the study of humans is like you're saying what it is, like the study of humans versus anthropology, which is a proper noun. When something's a proper noun, it means it's created by socially constructed words. And I know socially constructed gets to be a dirty word, but really all it means is something created by man. So the field of culture, of anthropology, is different from just the study of humans, which would be the divine. Am I making sense here?
Yes. Are you zinning right now?
I am zinning, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Brother and
6
zin.
milligrams up for Decker.
There we go.
Upper deckers.
Yeah. I'm alternating actually with that and these notes, which are all natural. Company just launched. Regulators are trying to shut them down, obviously, for some reason.
We
But
can't
regardless-
have nice things. That's all I've learned, is they don't want us to have anything nice.
So that's the idea of a social construct. I define it as the divine, God. I define it that way. That's not how it's defined by the field. It's just things existing. Things are the way they are, and when we start describing them and compartmentalizing them, it becomes something affected by humans. So that's to say that anthropology is a field that has a huge effect on our government, a huge effect on how our society functions. Like a lot of the trans ideology stuff is kind of supported by the field of anthropology, which is the study of humans. But it's more than just the study of humans. It's also this institution that has a history. It has selection for certain traits. The people inside it have a certain background, at least at a population level. Of course, there's outliers, but people are selected through these social institutions for certain traits as they get older, into college, into masters. And at a certain point, you have a group of people that share certain traits and they affect the field as a result of that.
Okay.
so an example of this is Franz Boas is the father of American anthropology. And his uncle was a close friend of Karl Marx and Engels, and literally lived with Marx and Engels. And there's a small amount of scholarly work on Franz Boas's influence as a Marxist, not a violent revolutionary Marxist, but as I forget the word for it. It's not Gnostic, but it's GM something, Marxism. And I was taught when I was doing my anthropology degree that this was just the father of American anthropology. But it has all of these ideas baked into it. And we've seen that recently with how anthropologists responded to Graham Hancock, which I'm not sure is something that you're familiar with.
I know who Graham Hancock is. I mean, I don't know their reaction to him.
Well, that was the field of anthropology.
Okay. So,
yeah.
So we live in interesting times, right? The question to an anthropologist I would ask is, do you think it's the craziest it's ever been, or is it the most obvious it's ever been? Like, there's a lot of people think we're living in the worst time ever, and then you kind of look back and there were like plagues and wars and much more obvious human sacrifice rituals and all that stuff. So the question becomes, is it the worst time ever, or is it the most obvious time ever? Meaning that this stuff has always been going on, is it just more obvious?
Worse or more obvious what the world is like? Well, I think if you're saying it's worse, if you're trying to argue that it's worse, you have to establish a metric. And by most of the metrics that we use, we are better off. And yet I think people are not as satisfied, not as happy in a lot of ways. So you would just have to define a metric. But as far as for most obvious, I think that, technology is like the wheel and millstones and computers and things like that. But technology is also communication devices, right? Like the telegram, the telephone, video conferencing, and then, the internet. And when you have a more interconnected world and no longer are the institutions that in the past would be gatekeepers for information, you've changed the way that people communicate to each other and what information they get and how that information is delivered to them. And that will have an effect on human beings because it affects the information that they take in, which affects how they view the world. And that changes people ultimately because it changes what information they're seeing, who they're talking to, how they're talking to them, even especially now with like translation things. It will change people. If the world you're interacting with, your physical and your human environment, the people around you, if that changes, you change.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. How we're acting, going viral. We were just talking about e-thoughts and their digital fat asses and how they're just manipulating that for absolutely no reason. I mean, it looks ridiculous and thus changes the expectations.
You have to have an eye for that, though.
Well, I think I do.
You have it. I think you found your new talent, a new skill of yours.
Yeah, but the point is, it's like we're entering a era of just like nothing is real. And I personally think it's going to destroy the internet as we know it.
Because you've seen what's the app, Sora? The new AI where you can make it. You've seen everybody's been using it, right? What's it called, Johnny?
Well, it's in Grok too. It's video generation. Sora is one of them. That's the ChatGPT version, the OpenAI version.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you used to be trust half what you see. Now it's trust nothing what you see.
You got to see
which
it in
I think
person.
is going to drive, especially when you hit a particular age. You're gonna get off the internet. I'm not on Instagram like I used to be. It's just boring to me now. It used to be fun, and maybe my algorithm is just fat asses, and it's just that's what's feeding me all the time. I'm just over it. But enough of that. I just wanted to ask you the question. So let's get into what you wanted to talk about. I love the topics here. Let's start off with a fun subject called ritualistic cannibalism. Where do you want to start?
Yeah. So cannibalism is a practice, right? So the cannibalism that I think exists mostly in our culture is like survival cannibalism, generally on like ships. If there's a shipwreck, they might eat somebody. It's called the law of the sea or rule of the sea, one of those. But in general, that's separate from the type of cannibalism that I'm talking about, which is ritualistic cannibalism. And we have evidence of this being practiced, hard evidence. It's really not as much anymore. If it is, it's in some backyard jungle, only talked about in villages that have a little bit of contact with the outside world. But the point of ritualistic cannibalism is generally not survival. It is tied to early cultures and how they function. And when I say early cultures, I mean like early as in literally likely. We don't have extremely hard evidence for this in Europe, but it's very, very likely that it did occur, or in Asia. But in Africa, it was and is still practiced. In Papua New Guinea, up until recently, it was and is still practiced. And when I say is, I mean not a lot. But this exists all over the world, which to me, it gives me an idea that maybe there's something innately inhuman that this idea of eating other people comes up in all different parts of the world. And it's generally tied to animism, which is a very broad term, but it basically means that these are people who believe that there's energy in all people and things. It's sometimes called manna by the Polynesians, and that's in the Bible. And that's generally what the reason for eating somebody is to harness their mana, their energy, their spirit, essentially. And, you know, there can be different criteria for what person has the most mana. Maybe a war chief or something would have more mana. So eating them would both have an incentive for you to capture their energy. And also it would help this idea might help to expand their culture by conquering other people, essentially, if that's the environment that they're in. Does that give you enough to go on?
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of rant.
So in a basic understanding, this is a tribal thing that we see tribes in the past would eat somebody to consume their soul. And
that's a way to put it.
Yeah, so there's this famous story about Princess Di. And it was the story that she saw the royal shapeshift. She said, everybody shapeshift except for Queen Elizabeth's husband was the only one who didn't shapeshift. They shapeshift into reptilians, she says, according to her friend. And she saw her basically, she said, Queen Elizabeth ate this kid's soul. This, devoured it. Which seems to be along the lines of what we're talking about right here in a weird way, the mana and the soul. And, we can get into shape-shifting. Suddenly all these celebrities, they leave fat and then they're gone for a couple months and come back and they're like in insane shape. And everybody thinks it's Ozempic and all that stuff. Or it's shape-shifting, right? I mean, that's definitely possible. Adele's famous story about her shape-shifting. I don't want to get too much into shape-shifting, but that's a famous Princess Di story, that she saw them shape-shift.
I mean, this kind of reminds me like of adrenochrome. It does something. It's like mana. It's like their soul, like in a weird kind of, it brings me back to that. That's what all I think about is you're trying to eat their mana. What is it? Supposedly, you're supposed to scare them. It kind of reminds me of that Monsters, Inc., where you scare them.
That's exactly what Monster, Inc. is about. And
in a lot of these early cultures, torturing the people is part of the ritual before they're killed to be consumed.
I remember I was so shook as a kid watching Indiana Jones and seeing him pull that guy's heart out.
Oh,
dude, yeah. Me too. I remember that vividly. Yes. That was disturbing.
I was like, what the f- is
that whole
on?
sequence in that temple and all the cannibals was.
And then they would sacrifice him.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think in your studies is the purpose of human sacrifice? Why Why do we think the gods demand human sacrifice?
Yeah. So why do they? I actually do want to get back to shapeshifting. I made a note of that.
Okay, we can go to there too.
Yeah. So why? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I just write them down so I don't get too far off. Why do the gods?
Why do the gods demand human sacrifice?
Okay. So the first thing I want to say is that it exists. It existed in the past and still exists in certain aspects today. But when it existed broadly in the past, most tribes likely didn't practice it. So there are select few, and there have been some cultural anthropologists who have done work on how, and I agree with them on this, that if one group is one way, another group near them that's opposed to them, they will kind of become opposites to define their individual group against the other. And so it's not all of the tribes that are doing this. And probably, and in most cases I've read about, other people who are around a group known as being cannibals are probably pretty scared of them.
Is that, for example, the Aztecs? The Aztecs they were sacrificed people, but the tribes around them found them to be very savages. They were scared of the Aztecs. That's why the Spaniards and the other tribes that weren't the Aztecs got together and were like, let's take down the Aztecs because these guys are savages. Is that pretty much what you're trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's part of it. So the Aztecs were they were at the state level of development as opposed to tribal, but it works the same way with these larger groups. We don't know all that much, but about it because a lot of it wasn't written down, and then the stuff that was burned or destroyed. But definitely the other groups around the Aztecs, they did do the similar practices to them, but they didn't. They clearly, the Aztecs went above and beyond in what they did. And there were also probably some ethnic things there because the Aztecs were relative newcomers from the Southwest.
Like just a parasite. Shows up and just starts devouring everything. Guys, I'm telling you, there's so many coins in the crypto market right now. And if you play it right, you can make money. Like I have this one that I love, Retire. I've been playing it. I make good money on it. You can too. And you can find out these coins by following our boy, James McMahon, and Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Has it pissed you off to watch crypto fly up in price for over a decade and you still done nothing about it? Yeah, it makes sense. Crypto is complicated and real boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto to make money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just copy him, okay? It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest, as you just simply copy along. So let me tell you about James. James runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has over 93,000 subscribers right now. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 in each one, it went on to be worth over $123,000. That's a lot of money. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick of the year, the one he singled out, called Phantom, went up 692 times. That one call alone retired a number of people, including guys and gals in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify for yourself. If you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing right now and head over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. Okay. You'll not only find proof of everything that I've said, but our viewers get full access for just $1. Okay. Yes. You missed out on Bitcoin. Maybe a little bit by chunks, but you know, there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you miss out on all of them? Guys, don't waste any more time. Go to the site and read it. Okay. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. It's ended money worries for so many. It just may do the same for you. And we thank James for sponsoring the show. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Daddy loves to sleep. He loves to sleep hard. He goes hard in the paint. And you know why? Because I have the best mattress out there. And the best mattress you can get is the Helix Sleep Mattress. It's amazing. I love using it. Listen, everyone sleeps different. All right. They're wonderful in that they have a nice quiz you could take that helps answer what type of mattress you want to sleep on, and whatever you want, they got it. Okay. you know what I love. I love the Midnight Lux. The Midnight Lux is fire. They got a Helix Lux collection. I mean, it's probably the best mattress you'll ever find. You go in there, you answer a couple questions, bang, it goes, hey, this is the mattress for you. And the best part is you don't have to go to some shady ass mattress store where you know they're money laundering, okay? No, Helix is a legit business. They're going to send you your mattress to your house and you're good to go and you're going to get the best sleep you possibly can. I love the Midnight Lux. What did you guys love?
Dude, I couldn't believe it came in a box.
In a box.
In a box to your house. No
It's so
Mexicans
great.
needed.
Yeah, it's no. Yeah, Johnny, do you love your mattress?
Yeah, dude, Helix is, I mean, the mattress we had before had a giant divot in the middle of it. So we would just end up kind of rolling down beside each other every night. And the Helix mattress we've had for years now, and it is just as good as the day we met, you know?
I'm getting power sleeps, dude. I get real good sleep.
And Sam is fighting that sleep apnea, and he's still getting
Okay, no,
rest.
that hasn't been diagnosed. Thank you, Johnny. What are you, voodoo doctor? Shut up, okay? It's real simple. So here's what we need you to do. If you want to get the best sleep possible on the best mattress possible, we need you to go to helixsleep.com/tinfoil. That's helixsleep.com are you guys ready? 27% off site wide. That's right. That's helixsleep.com/tinfoil for 27% off site wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. One more time. That is helixsleep.com/tinfoil. And we thank Helix Sleep for sponsoring this show. Guys, real quick before we move on, go to samtripoli.com/events. Tonight I will be in Tulsa with Eddie Bravo. Tomorrow night I will be in Oklahoma City. Then we have the only tickets that are left for my Austin shows are at the on Sunday. So grab your tickets to those. Love to sell that out if I could, just to make me feel good. Skankfest. And then we got Vegas is the big show, and XG just announced he will be there. Minneapolis, and then finally ending the year at the Dojo of Comedy. And if you see my shirt, this is the new shirt. It's the Modern Day Prophet. It's available at tinfoilhattshirts.com. Go there. We got a whole bunch of new shirts up there. It's a great way to support the show. We got this Wood Army, Modern Day Prophet, you name it. Got a new secret shirt that I'll be bringing this week to Tulsa and Oklahoma. So we'll see how it goes. Enough of that. Let's get back into it. So ritualistic cannibalism, we see them in tribes, right? We know tribes do that, but we don't live in a tribe. We're not tribal as of right now. Are the elites doing it, do you think?
Well, it's okay. So you were talking about shapeshifters earlier.
Yeah, let's get into that, and then we'll get into that.
Well, no, they're related, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, if it would not, like, people, I think in general, people look at the elites and they look at the idea that they're drinking blood of babies and, like, these things that just seem insane for us in our modern culture. The ideas are insane, shape-shifting even. But in a literal sense, it would be it's the abnormal thing that we don't have any people that openly do this practice around us in our modern culture in a historical sense, because historically people did this. The Romans, it might have been propaganda, but they said that the Celts did this. And these examples have been found pretty much everywhere else. We have no reason to believe that it didn't happen everywhere within a certain range. So why then would it be weird or why should we be surprised if people in our own culture aren't practicing it today? And you can look this up on the BBC. In 2011, 400 children were rescued from a human trafficking from Africa into the United Kingdom. 400 children were rescued from this operation. They were trafficked from Africa, I think mostly Nigeria, to the UK to be used for like blood bags. They would be cut and tortured, including on their genitals, to harvest their blood, which was used for various shamanistic purposes. That happened in 2011. There was a recent, just last month, 50 migrants were slaughtered on a migrant boat coming into Spain. This is from Spanish authorities, also from the BBC, in September of 2025, where there were apparently 13 people arrested because they slaughtered 50 other migrants on the boat, accusing them of witchcraft because they believed that those people had cast witchcraft that caused bad weather and engine problems on their boat.
Jeez.
So these things still happen today with people that live in Western countries, in the United Kingdom. In these examples, there are people who are originally from other countries, but why would our elites be the odd ones out? So it's certainly a lot more plausible than people think because they don't know about these practices. As far as shape-shifting goes, in the past, most cultures would believe in shape-shifting. This goes back to the idea of animism. Shape-shifting is often involved in animism. You can look up, there are these very interesting shape-shifting masks from Coast Salish people of the Pacific Northwest who live in what's now British Columbia, Washington, and I think Oregon a little bit. And they have shamans, often shamanistic practices in animism. They're a Venn diagram a bit. These are people that are communicating with the spirit world, and they are often, not always, but often, and in the case of the Coast Salish people, they were considered to be shapeshifters. And if you were an early anthropologist and ethnographer studying these people, they would be telling you they literally shapeshift. So we're, again, the weird ones out historically if we don't believe that shapeshifting is possible, because a huge number of cultures in the past and even still today in certain places literally 100% believe in shapeshifting. You could also look up the story of the goblins in some country in Africa. I don't remember which, but the whole town believes that goblins were causing mischief around town. These things are normal in most of the world still today.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys hear that really awful story about that Mexican cartel chick?
No, what happened?
Wow.
Oh my God, dude. She was like, they were kidnapping women, having them give birth, and then when some mother gave birth, they would harvest their organs, and it was a chick that was doing it.
The mother's organs? Or
Yeah.
the babies?
The babies.
Mothers, and they would sell the babies. There's some dark people out there, dude. There's some really dark people.
I mean, when they talk about Jeffrey Epstein's island, they just think it was diddling kids. I'm like, people died there.
Yeah.
Like, they just talk about that's horrible, obviously, but people died there. Murders happened there. People got sacrificed there. I don't think it was just diddling kids. Crazier shit happened on that island.
Yeah, well, they tried to frame it as, oh, these are just high school chicks. Hey, come on, man, they're hot.
I think it's no coincidence that the only images that got passed around, released, were of high school chicks, for sure.
Well, they totally framed that. Come on, dude, they're high school chicks. You know they like it. Come on, when in reality, very dark things are going on. And the reason I can buy in to that the elites are into cannibalism is because they tend to practice the very dark arts of ancient times.
Or who's that girl that does Marina? Yeah, that she does the food or the body eating or whatever she does.
Well, there was
science,
that Katy Perry SNL set where she was like singing on there was somebody laying. She was like the
sushi, like a sushi plate or something.
Yeah. And they just tell you what they're doing because they have to do it through, revelation of the method. And they just show you that stuff. And it's like insanity. And we can't even understand it. But you're dealing with dark arts, like way older than any of the Abrahamic religions. It's crazy. Why do you think it's child sacrifice? Why are kids the focus of so much of this?
If I gave you an answer, I would be winging it on the spot. I'll give you one, but my real answer is I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
So I mean, from what I've heard, it has something to do with kids are closer to God.
Innocence.
It's like something I've said before on many different shows. It's like, why is the Me Too movement so powerful, yet nobody seems to care about people hurting kids? It's because kids can't protest. They can't organize. They can't boycott. They can't do any of that stuff.
And how many of them are coming from, the DCF services from that don't have parents, no one to advocate for them? I think it's a large.
Oh, that was
percentage.
Jared from Subway's whole thing. She doesn't have parents. It's like, oh, my heart sunk when I read that. It's just so crazy, dude. Oh my God, it's so nuts, dude. It's so sad, dude.
It is. It is. Yeah, this stuff gets pretty dark sometimes. I have to, kind of recenter myself sometimes. But there are always different reasons for cannibalism. I mean, there's other ways to break it down. You can break it down into exo-cannibalism, which is of the out group, and then endo-cannibalism of the in group. There's different body parts that are favored or considered more powerful for some reason.
Oh my God.
And it can be different ones. They're for different reasons. And different cultures have different reasons. So I think that just comes down to culture. If I were to take that in like a ritualistic perspective, my argument would probably be that, sacrificing your own children, for example, what the Carthaginians were said to have done, and I guess we have no reason to doubt it, but they're said to have done that. Sacrificing your own children shows a extreme level of commitment, I would say, an extreme level of commitment to whatever you're planning to do, and could potentially, by a people that believe in that sort of thing, inspire a kind of a kind of community effort and morale that can actually produce results. Or there's the answer that it actually is some sort of spiritual entity that is appeased by that.
I mean, it's in the Bible, Abraham and Isaac, the binding of Isaac. He asked, it didn't happen in the end, but he did ask him to sacrifice his son.
Well, they say the original version, he did sacrifice his son.
Oh, the director's cut?
Yeah.
The redux.
And so from a functional perspective, like him not sacrificing his son, the Bible is written at times when people did this. You get into the Old Testament, you really see it. Some of these practices that are punished, it's kind of like the Bible is bringing us into the modern world in thinking. Instead of sacrificing people, we're having a ritual where we eat the body of Christ spiritually.
Yeah.
It is literally said by the priest to be the literal blood of Christ, but we do that instead of human sacrifice. Now, it was like ritualized.
Yeah. Which suggests that there is, as you say, some value to it.
Yeah, and what would you think was that, I don't know if you remember, I don't know how to say his name, but the German guy that ate the Berlin guy who he admitted to, he met him to eat each other. I don't know if you remember this one. It was a German engineer. All I remember is a German engineer convinced some guy, or the guy wanted to be eaten by this guy, and they met up, and the guy ate him, and he documented all that, and then the cops showed up. It was a crazy story, but where does that fit in?
So what I've been talking about is all cultural, which by definition involves a group of people. And that can be like your culture is in your tribe or your country. It can also be local. To me, that guy is separate because it's just one guy with this belief, unless he had an online community or something. So I think that guy is crazy or something.
Both of them, obviously, because the guy obviously was like, hey, yeah, I'll let you eat me. Go ahead, kill me.
Yeah, two guys. Two crazy guys. Maybe it could be argued that they had their own culture, but not for long because one guy got eaten. He was probably inspired by some sort of schizophrenic interpretation of ancient texts. Maybe I'd be interested to know, I guess. But that's just a crazy guy. That's different than a group of people having a
ritual
passed
of
down
society
traditions.
and culture is different than one crazy ass person who just you've heard that.
But it is a good question. I'm glad you asked it.
Don't let his head get big.
No, I mean it. I because it's important to make that distinction. I love that you asked that. So thank you.
There's a famous story of a woman who wanted to feel what it's like to get murdered. So she set it up, and the guy killed her, and now he's doing time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. She's so dumb. What a dumb woman.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're women, so that's what they do. So when we see sacrifice, we also see it in modern times, especially in Hollywood, because what you're talking about earlier is about the sacrifice of your own child is somewhat an admission, the price of admission to get to the highest levels of power. Like, it's like Dwayne Wade was playing basketball forever. Oh, I'll get into that once I bring up my second point. But right now, there's a guy who used to do this show all the time. His name's Bishop Larry Gators. Should we hit him up again, see if we can mend it?
You are satanic.
Yeah.
I will not talk to you, Sam Tripoli.
Come on, Bishop Larry Gators.
But you're Christian now, so I think you should give us a chance.
We're always Christian. When was it? Johnny was Christian from the start. It just, he said something.
You're a false prophet, Sam Tripoli.
The crowd didn't like it, and he ran. Like, it's just, the days of like, can I come on right now are done, dude. There was a couple guys. There's two dudes, Dr. Shiva and Bishop Larry Gators, who had like, okay, anytime you want, come on. And then they just both turned on us, mostly me, So, but right now, Bishop Larry Gators is going around and he's doing all the podcasts, and he's talking about how he believes that once LeBron James is done playing, that LeBron will have to sacrifice a kid.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
That's what he's talking about. He's on a podcast saying it's a clip that they're going to have to, because we always see all these famous people have had some weird tragic loss.
I mean, it is tragic to be playing in the G League for the Lakers, so maybe that's what Bronny is his sacrifice.
I was about to say, does the sacrifice also mean like one of his kids becoming trans? That's kind of a sacrifice. I mean, in general.
Well, that's what I want to get in. That's the second part of it. But I mean, if you look at these people that are famous, everyone's lost somebody, but these people lose like people very young, close family members to unexplained deaths that don't make any sense, and there's a famous story. I forget who the content creator was, but he basically was talking about how he had a friend and he was over at his friend's house. It was this young chick. And there was a knock on the door, and there was like this ominous guy there. And the guy came in, and the girl said to the YouTuber, "You got to leave. I'm having a meeting right now." So she left. He left, and later on he talked to her, and the guy basically told the girl that you can have all the fame, all the fortune you want. You just have to do a couple things, and we will ensure that you're famous. And one of them is this is a crazy story. You have to sacrifice somebody in your family. Somebody has to be sacrificed. And like, she literally calls up her mom and be like, they might sacrifice somebody. Her mom's like, I'll sacrifice so you can be famous. It's like, what? Yeah, that's the story he tells. I wish I could find it, but it's like a literal story. So we see this in modern day times. Now, you bring up trans. That seems to be a different form of sacrifice, where it's like you kind of sacrifice your child to this kind of cultural Marxist Baphomet ideology, and now your kid has to live as trans. And I always said this:
sterilization, essentially, if they go that route.
Yeah, I mean, like Dwayne Wade. I remember hearing stories about how insane Dwayne Wade was on the road. And I go, oh, when he's done, it's all going to come out, because that's what happened to Michael Vick, right? Once they realized Michael Vick wasn't the guy that's going to win a Super Bowl, all of his sponsors went away, which means all the handlers go away, and then all the truth starts coming out. Because your handlers, like, they'll go to a news organization going, if you run this story, we're going to pull all of our ads, and then they won't run the story, so nobody finds out. And it's crazy how it happens with LeBron James. Even in YouTube culture, he can control a narrative. Basically, the NBA calls up, let's say, Gilbert Arenas, goes, if you run this story about LeBron James doing steroids, you're no longer allowed to come to any NBA games, and you won't be able to function. You won't be called any NBA function. Kills the story. Story's done. Right? So there was all these stories about Dwayne Wade being absolutely insane in these hotel rooms. I'm like, as soon as he's done playing, it's all going to come out. But what does he do? Here comes this trans kid He starts playing ball. Now he's hosting all this stuff. He's got his own TV show. He's not even a great host, but it doesn't matter. And you think about this, and then we'll get back to it. But you got guys. We went and saw the Rolling Stones. All these entertainers are like entertaining into their 90s.
Frankie Valli, dude, can't even move his lips to lip sync anymore.
And he's still going.
Yeah.
And like, I'm 52. I hate flying. I'm over it. If you put a fat sack of cash in my bank account, you wouldn't see me on the. I love doing shows. The shows are great. The travel is garbage. And these guys are still going. I don't care if you're on the greatest plane ever. It sucks. Why are they still going? Why is LeBron James still playing?
You don't get that. You don't think you'd want to keep playing basketball if you could? You could. I mean, it's just a game. You're making a lot of money.
Yeah, but it just seems like it's...
I agree with John. I think that one's different than singing.
Yeah.
I think that one's different than singing.
Well, also, he's not the equivalent of Frankie Valli of basketball. He can still get you.
Well, you can't go. You can't go basketball till you're 90.
But what I'm
going
saying,
into
he's
your
not
40s, it seems like a lot.
right. But he can still get you 15. I mean,
like Tom Brady quit when he was still an All-Pro quarterback. At some point, you've done it.
Yeah, I mean, Peyton Manning went a little too, but he won a Super Bowl even in one of his worst years. So,
I mean, it's weird to me.
That I think athletes are a little different because those are guys just holding on to glory. You know?
They have to get to that level, you have to be so fiercely competitive that type of person doesn't want to quit.
Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely we see it with boxing and MMA for sure, where they just but it seems like that's crazy if you sacrifice your own kid. I mean. That's the famous Anderson Cooper story, right?
Yeah.
Anderson Cooper.
I mean, all of them. They all have. I mean, every single celebrity has like a trans kid. Some of them have 2, 3 of them.
Yeah, which is statistically impossible.
Yeah.
Like without outside interference. But I think that this is a cultural anthropology thing. That's the culture at these upper level institutions like colleges, Harvard, Yale. They incentivize, they promote those ideas more there. So they're naturally these kids of these rich parents. They get that stuff way more than just an average kid in America would, because they're at the root of it.
But it goes back to kind of at the beginning of this conversation where you start talking about a religion. Right, and how powerful that is. And then you get into cultural norms. And I've been saying this, that progressivism is so powerful that it overrides a mother, and then we'll throw fathers in there too. They're baked in instincts to protect their children at all costs. For a mother, we see this all the time, where people talk about how progressive mom use their trans kids as trophies to convince your son to be a girl. And it seems like and there's something about a man turning to a woman that is way more prevalent than the other way around. That nobody really talks about that. We don't really see the hysteria of a little girl dressing and acting like a boy. Nobody really loses that. But the other way around, people are freaking out. And why is that? And why does that seem to be the most prevalent of the trans children when we see with these incredibly powerful, famous people? It seems to be very focused on male to female.
I'm not sure. I'd want to check statistics for something like that if there are any.
But think about it. Name me, and I'm not trying to press you. I'm just asking this as a general question. Name me Chaz Bono. There we go. That's the first female to male. Okay, outside that, who is the famous Ellen Page too? Okay,
celebrity female to male trans.
Yeah, that we've seen. That someone's kid has grown up, and Ellen Page isn't a famous kid, as far as I know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's always male to female. Always.
Let me see. Yeah, I wonder overall if that's less common. I'm curious to know that. Do you know? If male to female is the more common transition?
I remember seeing statistics a few years ago that as far as teenage girls went, and this stuff changes so quickly that it was more common. The male to female or female to male was more common at that time. But that was probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I read the same thing where it was more like they're group based and they're more. It was more like girls literally chopping their tits off.
Oh, so I mean, are you just talking lesbians that live their life looking like Larry the Cable Guy?
I mean, these
right. We
I
see
think,
that a lot. I mean, if that's trans, then yeah, maybe. But I'm talking about
no. I think there was
just
like teenage girls socially identifying and socially transitioning to men. I think that's what it was.
Really?
Or to boys.
I guess we only get. I mean, because I only see it the other way, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, because that's just a butch. That's just a lesbian butch.
Yeah,
what you're talking about. There's a lot of those.
We all had like gym teachers.
Yeah.
I had 2 librarians.
No, it's once they start like chopping off. Yeah, it's once they start chopping off their boobs, which it's like once they're actually literally want to identify as a man because they.
So crazy, dude.
They do that before they even chop their boobs off. I mean, it's the death of the tomboy is real. Girls that would be tomboys are now just boys.
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. ChatGPT. So take it for what it's worth. Clinic records and studies show that it's a 2 to 3 to 1 ratio. So it's 30% are the way male or female to male, and 70% plus potentially are male to female. So
there's just something about that, and I think culturally we kind of freak out because the way the women talk about the patriarchy and all that stuff, and the notion of giving that up kind of freaks people out. Kind of makes them weird. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And it's so funny when you see women transition to men and they start living like men. They're like, dude, this sucks, bro. We get treated like shit.
Yeah. I can't get in any good restaurants anymore. This
dude, nobody's
garbage.
giving me free shit. It's awful. So early on, you talked about anthropology and its effect on government. Can we get into that? And like how we govern and how affects how we basically, I guess, would the rules of our society and culture.
Yeah. So cultural anthropology, as one of the broad subfields of anthropology, within that is political anthropology and how people organize themselves. And this gets in, like, in anthropology, all the different subfields, they all have a corresponding other field that they work with. So political anthropologists will also work with, like, political scientists. So there's some aspects of, like, constructivism, which is an idea in political science in what I might say. But
what is constructivism?
Oh, sorry. Absolutely. Constructivism is a theory in political science that I would say I largely hold to, that institutions like governments, they build on each other. So it's like almost like a Tower of Babel thing is the way I think about it. Like when you have a government, like our American government was founded on certain principles, and like that's like the foundation of this social construction, which is where constructivism comes from. So it's this thing, it's this idea created by humans that becomes real because we believe in it. And so you have that foundation built from all these different parts, and then things get added and added, but the old things can't necessarily be removed. And when I say things, I mean, departments within it. We've added plenty of departments to the executive branch. We haven't taken any away, because once an institution exists, it will advocate for itself. Once you have somebody leading a sub-institution, you can't get rid of it. And so even when maybe it's no longer serving the institution as a whole or the country, it's not doing what it is meant to do, like a random department, it could be any of them, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Defense, you can't really get rid of it because there are people there who are part of it and will advocate for it. So you have all of these things there together that form on each other. And I am sorry. I can go on so many tangents from here, but I think I've talked enough for now. You probably have something to say.
I love it, dude. It's I'm with you. It's very interesting. You're right. There are no departments that get shut down, right? They just keep like Legos. They just keep stacking on top of each other, and now you got this giant monstrosity of bureaucracy, and it must be fed. And the more bureaucracy, the more departments, the more taxes we have to pay to fund all these departments. And it just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. California's going through that right now. It's very weird. Like, you know, I don't know where you're out of, Sam, but we are in California. Guys, do you guys know there's a governor's race going on right now?
No, I have no idea.
No.
Johnny, you remember when we talked about that the last time he got elected? They had it, and we're like, there's no governor. That's how they're controlling it. They're not even letting anyone know the governor's race is going on.
The only thing I keep seeing is the no and yes on 50.
That's it.
That's the item, which it's the only thing I hear about.
Nobody's talking. Do you, once again, Johnny, will you look up who is the Republican candidate for, I think it's a sheriff, but for California?
Yeah,
Nobody knows.
November 3rd, 2026 is the next governor election. Let's see.
Nobody's talking about this election. And they did that the last time too. And Gavin Newsom got in.
Okay.
I mean, and you're right, because only place
There's none yet. There's none yet for several candidates have announced their intention to run, but there's none yet.
It's unbelievable.
Well, how's there none yet, though? If
That's
really,
a year out.
That's just what it says.
That's California.
They have a bunch of people who've declared. A ton of Democrats have declared. A couple of Republicans have declared. It sounds like Steve Hilton, who was a political commentator and former advisor to UK Prime Minister David Cameron, is among the Republican frontrunners, possibly.
So we have this situation where we live in California. We have so much bureaucracy that they just have to keep raising your taxes to fund this beast. The number one employer in the state, and maybe that's where it is everywhere, but the number one employer is the government. That to me is fascism right there. That to me is, you know, when the government is the number one employer, everyone's going to play ball with the government.
That's going to get worse, though.
Yeah, I mean that's what they would like.
AI is going to everyone's about to be what's it called? We're going to need a UBI.
Well, yeah. I mean, I watched a couple videos on it. That seems to be where it's going.
I think it's here. I think it's just a matter if they want it to be here.
What do you mean?
Self-driving cars. Like how long till there's no truck drivers? If they without the union stopping it, without them pushing back, if they really just let it happen,
what kind of power does a union have if they don't want you anymore?
Yeah.
Be like, no, we're done. But back to this. So we have these departments. We have this structure. I mean, what do you think is going on right now with this government? We have the crazy stuff going on. If we're talking about anthropology, how people react to each other, how we see the world, which forms how we see the world. I mean, what's your take on everything going on right now with Trump, with the Biden administration? Does this apply to any of those things?
Well, gosh, there's a lot. I could talk about this for a very long time.
We're all for it.
Where I want to concentrate on. So, our government is like, let me write that down so I can circle back to it while I set up with something. So, the current government with So the current government in a constructivist point of view is, of course, built on all of these other levels. You have all these other things built into it, and those restrict certain aspects. They promote certain other aspects, and so right now, I believe that the U.S. government, based on the way that it functions within its human and physical environment, is when we're talking about a culture, it's so hard to define. I'm sorry, there's so many things. Like I say something and I'm like, I need to explain something else before I get into it, but like these social constructions, these organizations like governments, if they have the right incentive structure, if they instill the right beliefs, by nature, by definition, they will expand. They will cover more people, they will have more economic power, and they will expand, be able to fight off attack. They'll continue to survive, right? And they'll continue to change because culture, again, by definition, is ever changing. It's dynamic. It responds to the human, as in the other humans around you, the other groups of humans, and the physical environment and it changing. So our constructed government, our US government, and all of our state, local, county governments were created in a context that was very, very different from today, from a technology standpoint, from a human standpoint. This can get into ideas of empathy, that there are certain aspects of our culture and our institutions that have made like bringing in refugees, treating people a certain way, like doing things like I think you have this in California, harm reduction policies, which allow people to continue to do drugs on the street. That these are results of policies in our culture that used to serve a purpose, and now, for whatever reason, they're now pulling us down. And what tends to happen in world history when a government, a institution is no longer able to expand itself, it gets a bloated bureaucracy. This is extraordinarily common, honestly. It's very, very common. You can see this in ancient China with dynasties collapsing from a bloated bureaucracy. A favorite example for me would be the Janissaries of World War I, Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire famously collapsed after that. They had this social institution called the Janissaries that got far too powerful. The eunuchs in the Chinese courts, they got too powerful. These institutions expanded and changed to expand themselves, give themselves more power. And eventually something has to happen because those groups are no longer producing results, in the sense that that culture is not expanding itself and its power, and it's becoming weaker relative to other powers. And what happens then is that another group is able to come in and either destroy or extremely modify the losing group. So art of war, the point of war, that they'll tell you, I was in the Marine Corps, by the way, for context of this, but in the Marine Corps, the point of war is to instill your will on your enemies. And that is, in effect, whether it's through economic means or through literal war, that's how other cultures are changed. One culture expands itself and forces or incentivizes another culture to change itself as well, because they have to compete. And if they don't compete, they will lose out, and their culture will no longer be propagated and expand, and it will die out. So naturally, if a culture does not expand itself through people holding the beliefs of that culture, through territorial expansion, through control of institutions, that culture goes away and it's replaced by other ideas.
Wow, dude. Wow. I've never heard that term before, and it's the absolutely perfect term to explain what is happening in this country. Empathy. I mean, that nails it, dude. That nails it. Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about one of my favorite sponsors, and that's Home Chef. I love them, especially 5 years ago when we were going through it with all that craziness. I was constantly eating Home Chef. It's the best. It's simple. It's easy. So let me tell you guys, kids are back in school between drop-offs, pickups, homework, and don't get me started with bath time. The last thing I want to think about is what's for dinner. Home Chef takes the stress off my plate with fresh, pre-portioned meals for the entire family, which makes weekends so much easier and more enjoyable, okay? It's real simple. Home Chef makes cooking simple. Fresh food delivered, easy recipes to follow, and the meals that actually taste great. Home Chef is rated #1 by users of other meal kits for quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. Whatever kind of day it is, classic recipes with fresh ingredients, 30-minute meals, oven-ready trays, or quick microwave options, Home Chef has you covered. There's even a dedicated family menu for hassle-free, delicious dinners. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. You don't understand how helpful that is. And it's not one size for all. Home Chef has 30 meal options each week with choices for different diets and tastes. Plus, it's affordable. Home Chef customers save on average $86 per month on groceries. Thank you. And on nights when you just feel you need something easy, Home Chef's 5-ingredient meals are perfect. 5 fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and dinners done. Simple, easy. Home Chef, it's got you covered. So here's what we need you to do. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners, our listeners, 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/tinfoil. That's homechef.com/tinfoil for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/tinfoil. Must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. All right. I love Home Chef. I know you will too. And I thank them for sponsoring our show. So some woman tweeted, it's time for men to start defending women. And then the guy tweeted her going, white women are constantly voting for immigration to be allowed. Now you have to deal with it. And like, he's totally right. I was paraphrasing the guy's tweet, but he's totally right. Empathy, dude. Even the pushing of DEI and demanding diversity. If you're a white woman, you are basically demanding laws that hurt your children from working.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned this because it even creeps into like war. Like Patton being sidelined in World War II because he slapped a couple of guys. Like, this is a guy who could have shortened the war on several occasions and saved thousands of lives. Great point, Johnny. And he slapped a couple of guys, and they just sidelined him. He shot a mule.
I think that was a made-up reason. I think that the real reason was something else.
Go on then. Yeah, because they purportedly it's because he shot a couple of mules that were a whole army column was stacked up behind a couple of mules that were on this bridge, and he just came up and said, "Well, shoot the fucking mule. Let's get them off the bridge." And they claim, these two things. But he could have shortened the war on several occasions, and his advice was ignored repeatedly. And then he died under suspicious circumstances. But it's just another example of this kind of pathologizing, society that wants to make everything mental health and well-being,
And let's just say for that story is real. And, according to Sam, it might not be. But let's just for a second.
No, I'm not saying it's not real. I just mean that they wanted to fire him, so they found a reason.
Yeah, well,
I got you.
If you get fired from a job, it's because people didn't like you. And this comes from a guy who's got fired 11 times. So
Patton too also came from like a wealthy upbringing, and most of the other generals didn't, and they kind of resented him for that.
I get that, but it just like think about that. You're in a business of murder, and they're mad you slap somebody.
Exactly. Yeah,
think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. A human resources in the death department.
Yeah, it's the same reason the Civil War was drug out, because guys like Sherman were ignored.
No, and you're just so right. I mean, we have this insane mayoral, what's it called? Mayoral race going on in New York City, in which one guy is openly talking about defunding the police, getting rid of laws, socialist stuff, which we've all seen how that plays out. It doesn't work. But you still have New York City wanting to elect this guy, because there's so many people that live a charmed life there that they don't care because they think they're above it until it shows up at their doorstep, and then they freak out. You remember when BLM started to go into Beverly Hills and then they turned right back around?
Right quick.
Which was very interesting.
To me, it's like the feminist movement, kind of like how Candace puts it. She's like, you're up for it till your son gets caught up in it.
Oh yeah, the head of the woman who basically created the group that went after all the Me Too stuff, her son got Me Too'd and she quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best term I've ever heard in my life. Their empathy is exactly what is plaguing this country right now.
That's definitely, I don't remember whose idea that is, but it's definitely from someone else.
That's fine. That's
Just so you
fine.
know, yeah, I'm not gonna take
To be
credit.
clear, we do that all the time.
If
so.
he hits us up, we will give him the credit. I'm assuming it's him. But if they hit us up, we will make sure they get credited with that coining that term, because it's absolutely what's going on in this country. It's absolutely how chaotic. Now the question really becomes, Johnny and XG, but the reason I say Johnny is because we're on a show with a guy named Howie Dewey.
Yes.
Right? And whenever we bring up the problems of New York, Howie, who lives in New York and lives in New York City, says he doesn't see any of it. Yeah. And I'm not saying that he's not telling the truth, because I like that story I said in Portland. When it would look like Portland was on fire, I flew to Portland. You couldn't even find any of them. It was a small park where it was going down, but it was shot like it was all of Portland.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of things going on there, right? It's what you just said. Also, Howie is he's a well-to-do guy, you know what I mean, who's probably not going to be in the places where shit's going. You know, he's going to be the last to feel the strain of the economy and the politics, and it's exactly what you said a second ago. It takes a while for those chickens to come home to roost, which is why so many people can still afford to vote like retards. Because they feel it last, you know what I mean? And New York, if you can afford to live in the city, you're doing pretty well. It's like LA. I mean, most people can't afford to live here. Most of the people who work here can't afford to live here. It's the reason the traffic sucks every day. It's because people have to come in from out of the city. So.
And the downtown, I mean, obviously New York City is way different than the downtown here in LA.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing literally LA's so bad here. We're literally homeless everywhere, encampments, and that's not New York. At least not everywhere.
Well, and it's block to block in downtown LA. I mean, there are certain blocks now that are just fabulous, but it's absolutely fabulous.
It's interesting. So, but the structure and how the government works, is that affected by anthropology?
Well, I mean, everything's affected by anthropology, because it's humans. It's all connected. But from my study with cultural anthropology specifically, it deals a lot more with like different forms of government at, I don't want to say stages of human development, because it's not like a linear progression, but based on different levels of technology. And the way that I like to define it is like the discrete number of people, the number of people that the social institution is able to control, essentially. And there are competing institutions. Like we would say the government, and we would say that we live in the United States, but to a certain level, there is an international global organization, the United Nations. They're not very powerful, but they exist above our United States government. And eventually they could become more powerful if they're able to contain more power. And with an increasingly globalized world, it's possible that does happen, that they're able to gain more power, and they could eventually become more powerful than the United States. And for example, they might be able to enforce warrants on people in the United States from the ICC, which currently they really can't, because we're not signatories. They don't have enough political leverage. You also see arguments between state governments, local governments, county governments, and they're all trying to expand themselves. But for earlier cultures, the word primitive is kind of looked down on in anthropology today for good reason, but because there are people whose largest social institution contains only about 150 people, or maybe a few hundred more, that is a non-arbitrarily distinct way of viewing that social institution when it's just a few hundred. So you have bands. These are defined in classical anthropology as bands, which is a band is an extended family group. And then with a little more social complexity, cultural complexity, you have a tribe which contains multiple bands, each of those bands made up of extended family groups. And then above that, you start to get chiefdoms. And all of these have traits that they generally have, they might not have because of different cultural attributes. And these cultural attributes or physical environment can be something like, for example, the Great Plains and the Asian steppe both have a culture of bride stealing. They both have these wide open areas, and they both have bride stealing, which is not common in other parts of the world.
What is bride stealing? Where you just steal a chick?
Yeah. A couple of guys. A guy who wants a wife, or maybe as a friend who he wants to reward. Basically, like, there are these dudes in the ancient world, like before civilizations, guys would just be running around like in war bands, fighting other guys in different groups. Very common. But yes, they usually horseback once it was introduced into North America, but also in the Mongolian steppe and the Eurasian steppe. Go out, find a woman, steal her. She's your wife now. That's how it works.
Well, dude, this is still going on. The lady who cuts my hair, Marina, she's from Georgia originally, the country, and her sister
in the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, exactly, in the mountains. And she said that these guys come down from the mountains. He had seen her sister, came down from the mountains, snatched her sister up, took her in the mountains, and married her ass. And like her father and this band of guys had to go back into the mountains and pay them off basically to give the wife back. And this had to be in like the 80s or the 90s or something. She's not that old, Marina. So unbelievable, bro. Still
somewhat ritualized today. They might do like a fake show of it. They might do a pretend kidnapping for a wedding.
Well, they didn't get. No, she didn't want to marry this guy though. She had no idea about it. Yeah.
Yes, it still happens, but there are also cases of this
saying, like where
ritualized version of it where they stopped doing the practice.
Yeah.
But yes, it does still happen.
It's like a Renaissance festival.
Yeah.
I mean, that's human trafficking. We just have human trafficking that's across international borders. They just developed.
You're right.
It's like...
You're right.
Yeah. And the people who, at the chiefdom level, a lot of these people doing bride stealing, they're going to be at the tribal or the chiefdom level. I mean, that is how you would do it. You, within your cultural understanding that you have of the world and in your physical environment, what you have access to, you don't have a nation state. So you're not going to be crossing like the ocean on boats to human traffic people from the Philippines. You are going to grab a couple buddies and you're going to get on a horse because that's what you have. And you're going to go 100 miles away so that you're far enough away that it's hard for them to chase you. You're going to grab some dude's wife or daughter, and she's your wife now.
Unbelievable.
Damn.
Yeah. I wonder if they have a bunch of 40-year-old single wives, single women out there with cats.
Dude, I thought it was like a little bit more civil, where we're trading things. Like, well, I'll trade you 2 goats for.
That's the funniest thing about women today. I can't go into it.
Yeah.
Women are going to think I hate them. I don't. But this modern dating stuff is out of control. It's just out of control. And not saying that this is a better way, because it's not. Free will is the best. But whatever we're doing now is not working. It's just not working.
Well, it is working if the goal is to sling puss, but if it's to actually have a lasting marriage and raise children together.
Do you think that women as a whole's goal in life is to sling puss?
It sure seems like it.
I think it is.
Sure seems
No,
like it.
it's because it's the low hanging fruit. It's the easiest thing to do. There's no resistance to it until nobody wants your slinged puss.
It's almost like as a generation or two, they kind of have to get it out of their system. You know, what I mean, they're having their rumspringa.
Yeah, they gotta. They've turned their most fertile time into their hoe phase.
Right. But then once this generation figures out that lifestyle is
and they're already starting to do it.
empty as a Michael Bay
And the
joint,
next generation will zig the other way.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's like when you introduce alcohol to like a society first. The first generation's pretty, and after that, it just kind of evens out.
Some Native Americans are still.
Now, let me ask you. Brought up chiefdom, and there's this thing called the Dark Enlightenment right now, where it's a group of intellectuals, or as I like to call them, rich kids, a bunch of trust fund kids.
People with the resources and time to spend on thinking.
They want to push for basically a dictator. They think we need to get back to a strong man, one leader who rules forever. And these intellectuals are pushing it in the Dark Enlightenment movement.
This is why I've been talking about this. It makes me very nervous.
It makes me incredibly nervous. And again, every awful idea ever pushed forward was pushed by a rich kid. who can just drift into dreamland about how things would be ideal. It's crazy to me. That's why like communism makes me laugh. It's like you think it's going to be this kumbaya and everyone has money and we're all happy. It's like that doesn't take into account psychopaths, the incredibly rich,
Greed.
I mean, like it always is going to eventually be structured top to bottom every time. The best way is everyone gets a chance and everyone can create their own business. And if that business is good, you'll thrive. That's the best way, pure capitalism.
And we've tried both fascism and communism. We've given them a pretty good ride at varying points. And it just doesn't work. The corrupt soul of man, I guess, it makes it impossible. But I mean, it's funny, like at the end of World War II, the Nazis were just so sure that the Allies were afraid of the communists, more than them, that they would have a separate peace with the Nazis to fight the Bolsheviks, and then so they all tried to surrender to the Allies, thinking, hey, let's just team up now, all good. We'll keep running Germany, and of course, once they were all arrested and hanged. But it's just,
and a couple of them were hung. The rest of them went to Argentina.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I
think there were probably more hired by NASA than were hung.
I'm with you. That Nuremberg
anybody
trial.
who could do anything, was snuck into the country.
Yeah, or Crip walked over and took over.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my theory. So we get into chiefdom. Is that part of anything you've studied? Like this desire as a mammal to have an alpha, and this thought that are we doing ourselves a disservice by having a new leader every 4 years? I know we're trying to stop the what's the word I'm looking for? What's the fucking word I'm looking for?
Concentration of power.
Concentration of power. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, aren't you sick of them after 4 years, though? I'm mostly, 4 years, boy, I'm sure sick of whoever's in office after 4
but
years.
if you look at what the Dark Enlightenment, I think they're wrong, but their whole idea is that, how can someone who's only going to be there 4 years negotiate against Putin who's there for decades?
Well, that's the
Why
thing.
don't they just ride it out?
Yeah, it's more of a problem with Russia's system than ours, I think.
No, I'm with you on that.
Well, I mean, the reason I kind of what I hear about that when you have these dictators is they play the long game. These every 4 years, two steps forward, one step back. 2 steps forwards, one step back. They're here like, yo, we're gonna take over America. It might take us 100 years, but here you go. Here's fentanyl.
Well, the thing is too, though, we also have
fentanyl.
We have a permanent state. I mean, we do have a permanent state. And
that's the truth.
how would that practically be much different if the face of that permanent state was...
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But that's not what the Dark Enlightenment thinks. They need a strong man, basically a dictator.
Now, if you're saying the dictator could kind of somehow outmaneuver the permanent state, then that's something to consider. But I just think that's a terrible idea.
So I don't really have an opinion on whether that's a good idea or not, just because I think it's more interesting to think about what will happen. So our government is a social institution that will only continue to expand itself and continue to exist as long as it is able, as long as it continues expanding. There's no such thing as it being static. You're either increasing or you're decreasing, both in absolute terms and in relation to other powers. And by a lot of metrics, and it depends on what happens, anything can happen, a volcano can go off, China is increasing relative to us, and other states are increasing relative to us. So essentially, our culture, our government, our institutions, if we continue down a path of a cultural, of decreasing standards, decreasing output, increasingly going into more and more debt that cripples our economy, eventually those factors might compound to the point, or it could be brought about by literal war, that our culture starts retracting. Our culture stops expanding. And at that point, it's, if the government collapses, if we go into anarchy, someone's going to win. And who knows who the people vying for control would even be. But that could and inevitably will happen. That's how it always happens in world history. An example would be Genghis Khan. You know, there were many times in history, Kublai Khan, well, I think he was actually after Genghis, but Attila the Hun, the Scourge of God, Genghis Khan, the Avars, the Magyars, where every few hundred years, the Eurasian steppe, this wide expanse, would get to a point where somebody takes control of a federation of these horsebound nomads, and they go rampaging through China and India and Europe and they cleanse the local institutions. They essentially destroy what's there, and they install their own rule. And that's because those institutions that were created by the people in charge they just literally were not serving the people. We know that they weren't serving the people enough because they were taken over. And so their culture is extinguished or diminished in relation to the Mongols, in a similar way that if our culture no longer expands our power and someone else wants to destroy it, or it gets destroyed from within, then something new is going to come about. Some new idea, whatever idea is willing to convince people, is willing to hold the power, is going to win, whether it be a good one or a bad one. Whatever culture can do it will expand. So whatever culture is best tied into the human and the physical environment that is dynamically changing, because it always changes, it's going to be something new because it's a new technological environment, but whatever is going to expand itself will expand itself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Okay. It really does. And it's the game that gets played. And it's almost like, again, we get into this culture of lying that we're in right now. And a lot of it extends from our politicians telling us whatever we want to hear just to get elected, and then totally going 180 on what they campaigned on, which is a big problem in this country because you get elected every 2 years, every 4 years. And we should have the ability to unseat you if you lied to us. We need that in our culture. I want to get into Native American anthropology. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Can I just use the bathroom before?
Yeah, go potty.
Sweet. I am. I can't believe I'm asking you to use the bathroom. I used to be
It happens. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into Native American anthropology. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's two things here. So, in the United States and Canada, anthropology as a field, different than Europe, in this one aspect, is in the United States and Canada, we have four subfields of anthropology. We have cultural anthropology, which is a lot of what I do, which includes the anthropology of religion, which is the study of religions, which we touched on a bit. There's linguistic anthropology, which is languages, and then there is archaeology, which is actually digging things up, and that's the difference that's in Europe and studying these human remains. In Europe, it is a separate field entirely. It's not part of anthropology, but in North America, it's part of anthropology. And then physical anthropology, which is like biology, and there's like studying bone fractures that can tell us a lot about maybe what the person's nutrition was, how they died, if the wound healed, if it's on a human, as well as with animals. So there's the cultural anthropology of Native Americans, as in studying their cultures. And then there's also the archaeology of Native Americans, and also from the colonial period, their interaction with Europeans. And I've done archaeology on a number of sites in southern New England. So these are Algonquin people, Eastern Algonquin. That's what I know the most about. And I've done it on like Paleo-Indian sites from like 2,000 years ago, some that were like contact period. I've done battlefield archaeology on the King Philip's War, which was in the 1670s between the New England colonists and the Algonquin natives, a confederation of them. As well as a historic period, 19th century home. So what would you like to know, I guess?
Well, it was one of your notes, so I thought you might want to get into that.
Yeah. There's just so much from there.
What about colonial history in that?
So I worked in public history here in southern New England as well. So the colonial history of New England, this really gets into constructivism quite a bit because I think we can learn a lot about our own culture from our culture today from the people that essentially created the foundation of our institutions. Because the institutions in Virginia, which I don't know as much about, but the ones in New England as well as those, these ideas provide the foundation of what then becomes the U.S. government. So the fact that there is that they were like essentially Protestant extremists that founded New England and formed a lot of our early history and then the foundation of our later government is something that I think people should be aware of. These were like, in a way, they were either far right or far left extremists in a lot of ways. But are you interested in the rituals of like,
yes,
I guess Algonquin, but Native American
yes,
like, combat?
Always, yes.
Yeah, I figured. So let me tell you about King Philip's War. So first, there's a war in 1635. You have in the late 1620s, early 1630s, you have people start to arrive and they form two colonies, the Massachusetts Bay and the Plymouth Bay. And these later become Massachusetts. And then some of the Massachusetts settlers, they go down a few years later and they found the New Haven colony and a few others. The New Haven colony, the Hartford colony, these become Connecticut, where I'm from. And they have the first war in 1635, which is the Pequot War. And the Connecticut settlers, the ones that are at this time in New Haven and in Windsor and a few other places, Hartford, they fight against the Pequot. And the Pequot were essentially like the sovereign power over Connecticut, what's now Connecticut. They had, they were kind of a little bit of an overlord over the other tribes there. Not in like a very literal, like feudalistic sense, but they kind of had it seems like they had a tributary system. And they had their natural enemies, the Narragansett. If you've ever been in the Northeast, Gansett Lager is like southern New England, at least, favorite beer. And you can find it somewhere, but it's named after the tribe, the Narragansett. And they were essentially in Rhode Island, the main tribe, and they would fight. They were natural enemies of the Pequot. And in this war that essentially founded Connecticut, there was a battle that is sometimes called a battle and is sometimes called a massacre. I tend to call it a battle because while there were a lot of civilians slaughtered and it was an assault on a palisade fort around a village, they were fighting. They were killing warriors as well as women and children. It was indiscriminate. Like, that's just what happened. They attack the fort. Everyone inside is slaughtered. And some people try to run and get away. And then the Narragansett, who are around the English colonists, they formed a secondary circle, and whoever got away, the Narragansett killed them. And then there's no wars for like 40 years, and you come to 1675. And in 1675, there's this guy who is named King Philip. It's unclear if he adopted the name or if someone gave it to him, but having multiple names was pretty normal in a lot of cultures, and it was normal in their culture as well. So he's also called Metacomb, Metacome, and he leads a Narragansett rebellion against all of the New England colonists. And in this war, sorry, one second.
Yeah, dude, these Zins, they'll get you.
My lips are like going numb. I don't know what that is.
That's a 15. Remember when you tried
What
that
do you
15?
want? 6 or 15?
I think that one's a 7. That was a note. That was a note. Yeah. No. Yeah. 7. Ginger peach. So King Philip's War. This is like this war by percentage of population lost for the colonists and Americans. Like if you include the colonial period, the people who become Americans, by percentage, it was like 5% of New England. I think it's hard to get a perfect estimate, but it was like 5% of New England English settlers that get killed in this war. It was a complete extermination war in New England. And so Connecticut, the Connecticut colony at this point, I think the Massachusetts colony at this point, they create the New England Confederation and they fight the Narragansett and this massive alliance of Eastern Algonquins. And they are exterminating each other's food supply. This is generally what, wars might have been like in the past. They generally weren't full extermination, but there was more violence at a lot of different points than there is today. And there was extermination of food supplies, and Algonquins would attack frontier houses. They would burn cornfields. They would shoot there was one case where 100 arrows were shot into a cow.
That's
the English
unnecessary.
Well, yeah, but it was, it's a symbolic gesture. It was like showing you like more than just we're killing your food supply so you can't eat it, but it's showing them like we really hate you, I guess. But yes, unnecessary to kill the cow.
Yeah, the cow didn't do anything to anybody.
The cow was to them, I think, a symbol of it was a tool for the English to survive. And the English, back to them, they were burning their fields, attacking villages. But there was one attack on a village that actually one of my direct ancestors was killed in this war as well. But I only found out 4 years after I did archaeology on this battle that he died in this. But there were some Connecticut settlers who were just hanging out in a fort. They were like garrison troops. And they heard that there was this village at a place called Turner's Falls, which is today in Massachusetts. So they go out on a hike to trek to this village to attack it, this Algonquin village. And they attacked it at dawn. There was a sleeping sentry, or they slipped past him, and they started attacking this village, and they're attacking everybody.
Someone had a bad day at work.
Yeah, seriously. Somebody got their whole entire family killed. But what happened is they came up, they attacked, and once the warriors in this village were able to rally, they routed the English, who had already done a lot of damage, burned down a lot of the village, killed a lot of people, both warriors and women and children. And they start running away and split up. And I actually did archaeology on their retreat. So I found musket balls, both impacted, as in they were shot and fired and hit something, like maybe a tree or a rock.
Whoa.
As well as unimpacted ones that were presumably dropped by some English soldier or militiaman running away in this battle and nervously dropping a musket ball.
Wow. So as we wrap this up, I want to ask you, one of the notes I got from you is that anthropology has a big problem with Graham Hancock. Is that what there's something going on with that right now?
Well, it's been going on for a while. Probably the big thing was his appearance on the JRE with Flint Dibble, and that ignited a whole firestorm. But before that, the Society for American Archaeologists, which is the largest anthropological organization in the United States, they have interaction with the government as well. They published this letter penned by multiple anthropologists, including one who has been talking about Graham Hancock for over 30 years. Graham chooses not to say his name, so I won't say his name either. As well as new characters like Flint Dibble, who is, on my channel, you can see my content about this, as well as from guys like Dunking Dan and a friend of mine, Jimmy Corsetti, has talked about it quite a bit.
Oh yeah, we know Jimmy. Jimmy's been on the show.
Oh, really? Yeah. He's fantastic. Love him. Love the stuff he's doing about Göbekli Tepe as well.
That's crazy.
But your original question was
What is going on? Why they have such a problem with him?
Yeah. So my opinion is that really their problem with Graham Hancock is that he's talking about things that they want to have control over. Like anthropology does have, in a lot of ways, a monopoly on our past, on understanding our past.
Yep.
They get to decide what gets seen. They get to decide what gets excavated, what doesn't get excavated, what gets discovered. They get to decide that, for example, Göbekli Tepe has only been 5% excavated approximately. And the guy excavating it said at least 150 years until it's fully excavated, but it'll take far longer than that at the current pace that they're doing it. They get to decide that because this field controls what we know about our past. And some people believe that this is a complete crazy conspiracy theory. They think that, like, oh, they don't control the past. But the field does, in the sense that they do select where to excavate, when to excavate, what to excavate, where to look, all of these factors, which affects what actually comes out. And I'm not saying they're hiding evidence. What I'm saying is that the field has certain beliefs and selects for certain people and has certain incentives that end up in preconceived notions where they're not going to look into certain things. They're not going to accept certain types of evidence. And I think they're very upset with Graham Hancock for talking about what they see as their field. When really, Graham Hancock, at the very beginning of this, to come full circle, I talked about how anthropology is the study of humans is the study of humans. That's what anthropology means. But anthropology, big A, proper noun, is a worldwide field with different ways of practicing it in different countries, different places, different people. But it is a field that has, as a social construct, a constructivist background. It has people in it that influenced the way that these people think, the way that they think about the past. It is a proper noun. What they say is not necessarily the truth or the only way of disseminating evidence for a belief. But Graham Hancock goes outside of evidence that the field as a whole, in general, does not support. Now, the field can change in the future. It has in the past. And any field can. But as of right now, they want to stop Graham Hancock from sharing his side. And I'm sure many of them believe wholeheartedly that he is completely wrong. But the real issue that I see is that anyone at all, or any field that is a group of selected humans, gets to decide what our past is and what we know about our past. That just, no matter what organization it is, it does not sit right with me.
Yeah, and it's about a bunch of old heads refusing to admit that they might have old data. And the more they control the data, and it's the data they believe in, the longer they stay in power. You could have an argument, if you believe this and it's been debunked, then what is your purpose anymore? So It's selfishness.
They might have published on a theory for 30 years, and then it could be out the window.
Yeah,
and that goes back to the field or culture advocating for itself, expanding. You can't get rid of it because this person's career is tied to it. Of course, they're not going to come out and say it's fake.
What's the logic on why it should take 150 years to figure out?
Because they're moving so slow.
No, but is it? In my eyes, I'm picturing because you use a toothbrush to make sure.
You think it physically is so big they can't get it for 150 years?
No, that's what I'm trying to. Because I'm trying to give them a reason why. What's the logic? Right. Is it permits? Like there has to be has to tell you why this can't take 10 years, 20 years. I'm sure there's enough people like you that would be willing to go and figure it out and go down there and dig.
This is actually another really great question.
Whoa!
And if it wasn't, I wouldn't say it. But this is a fantastic question. So, yeah, their justification is, and this is one of those reasons that you can't fact check, their justification is that the technology in the future might be better for doing anthropology. Ooh. And there is good reason to give evidence to that idea, it is true that over time, our methodology in anthropology, in archaeology, really, it has developed to a point that while archaeology itself is inherently destructive, in the sense that when you're excavating a site, you are destroying that site, meticulously documenting that site, generally 10 centimeters down in a 1 by 1 meter plot at a time. So you're meticulously documenting what is there, but you are destroying it. So, and there have been advances in the past few decades of using LiDAR, as well as ground penetrating radar for different purposes to do surveying work, which is different than excavation. That's when you're just looking outward to find anything, basically. Like
scanning it.
They recently, what's that?
Is it scanning it?
Right. Exactly. You're scanning it. In the past, you would have to do this physically, and you would have to do test digs in different spots. But now they have expansive use of LiDAR and ground penetrating radar that can tell us a lot of information on what's under the ground. Like, for example, roads or the foundation of structures
What about
where
the
they
pillars?
don't have to dig at all.
What about the pillars? The Egyptian pillars that they say there's some pillars that go like 4
Under
or 5, yeah.
under the pyramids.
Is that does that not stand? Is that radar not?
So I don't remember all of the specifics about that, but if I remember correctly, that was ground penetrating radar, or it was seismography, maybe. It was a newer method that goes down much deeper than some of the older ones. So there are less invasive technologies being produced. The problem I have with it is that I've never seen any indication of what that potential increased, like to what end would it be better for it to not be invasive? Because we're doing a pretty damn good job of being as not intrusive as possible at this point and documenting everything. And it is of no use to anybody under the ground. But they also say this thing about how they're saving it for future generations, which is ridiculous to me.
All right. I think you're totally right. You see the old guard, and even like in the most basic of things, like stand up, it's the same way. Everyone's doing this crowd work. You guys should check out my new crowd work special. Nobody's watching it, but that's fine. It's called Deep Dish. It's on youtube.com/@Sam Tripoli. But the old guard hates the crowd work stuff because the old guard likes structured jokes. It's a skill in itself. And then before that, the old guard hated dirty jokes. It just, either you evolve or you get left behind. And there's a lot of people that their whole living depends on the status quo. And if you don't adapt, you're going to die. And that's just the way it is. Sam, great episode, man. Great episode. One more time, tell them where they can find you.
Illegitimate Scholar on X and YouTube. And you can check out some of my disproofs of Flint Dibble, who made a lot of mistakes when he attacked Graham Hancock. Flint Dibble was just wrong on almost everything. He still today, probably as frequently as a few weeks ago, and will regularly talk shit about me, bring me up. But he will not accept my offer to a public live discussion on why he's wrong, because he's embarrassed. He has a PhD in anthropology, and he's super wrong about anthropology, which is embarrassing.
Yeah, shots fired.
No, and I just watched your episode with Michael Button. He's really good.
Yes.
He's got some good shit. So that was a good episode that you had with him.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've got interviews there with Graham Hancock, Michael Button, some other like little known PhDs. I talked to many different people from different cultures. A guy from New Jersey that moved to Uzbekistan. I don't remember if New Jersey was it, and actually participated in one of these bride stealing rituals.
What?
He jacked a chick?
Well, I'm sorry. The ritualized version of it, which is not actually stealing a bride, but he put on this facade for this cultural. Yes. Good Lord. Yes, no, I do not know anybody who is trafficking women in the Eurasian steppe.
What is love, baby? Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me no more. All right, man. Great episode. Let's break it down. Thanks for coming on, Sam. Let's break down the episode. So what'd you guys think of Sam Urban?
Good episode, bro.
Yeah,
that was a good episode. A lot of amazing information. A deep dive into the way we think and the paradigms in which we think. I thought it was a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's like that cannibalism is crazy. Imagine if you're like, hey, what are you serving? My kids.
Different.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if those people were. I don't know. It's a different kind of human.
Well, I mean, it gets into, again, like, psychology. Like, your psychology is so powerful, it overrides your basic instinct to protect your offspring. Like, if you're worshiping an idol that says you got to give up on your kids, I think you're worshiping the wrong idol. Your job is to protect your offspring at all costs, even if it costs you your life. Mm-hmm. They are your future. They represent you in this world.
Yes, I agree.
Right? It's so crazy. That's how dark it is.
It is so dark.
It's really sad, dude, that people do that.
Well, and
still do that.
So much of history was that way. I mean, there were whole generations that came and went with no hope of life. Do you know what I mean? Nothing I don't know. I mean,
did you notice what I noticed?
What?
When Johnny started talking about the Civil War, this guy started getting all happy. They were like all like,
two nerds.
Yeah, because I mean, Johnny went deep down the rabbit hole on that general.
Johnny just lived.
That was the Second World War.
Yeah, Second World War.
Well,
he loved it.
Patton,
yeah, he loved it. And I was watching. I was like, oh shit, this is some historical shit going down right now.
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah, it's
really dark.
I mean, I know there's this theory that there are certain people in society who, there's this idea that do the times make the man? Do you know what I mean? And there's this idea that throughout history, certain people like Patton, for instance, rise up in the face of evil. Where, when there's evil in the world, there are people that were given to kind of match that evil. You know what I mean? That are
starseeds almost.
Yeah,
in a weird
but
way.
like less civilized, you might say, than. In some ways, like they're capable of performing the same kind of brutality, like temporarily, to kind of match because if there was nobody willing to kill, then the Nazis, some evil power would just run this fucking place.
Johnny.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Real quick before we get deeper, go to samtripoli.com. I'm going to be. I want to say Tulsa was great. I want to say Oklahoma was great. Going to be this weekend at the Mothership. As of this recording, only Sunday night tickets are available. Grab them quick. Skankfest in New Orleans. Then I'm going to be at the Virgin Hotel in Las Vegas. Minneapolis after that. And then New Year's at Morris Plains at the Dojo of Comedy. Yes, and if you go to samtripoli.com, you can check out all my premium content. Do you guys have any Patreon? Do you have a Patreon?
No, but go to Extreme Marks the Spy. I got a new research show. Go check it out, please. Extreme Marks the Spy.
A research show now?
Research show, yeah.
Mexican research?
Yeah, I got a chick that's tatted up doing some research with me. It's
what's that? No, what you?
So she tells you it, and you just go, "Whoa,
yeah,
dude, that's crazy."
A lot of Sam Tripoli, mind blown. Whoa,
so I did not know that.
You got like a Mexican Siri, basically, which is just a girl with a computer
and big tits.
Yeah,
that works.
ChatGPT with tits. One more.
ChatGPT with tits, which is the best ChatGPT.
What kind of research are you doing?
Dog, what the
like
man,
medicine?
that's crazy. Your tits jiggle.
So the last one we just did, we went down the rabbit hole of the assassination of Kim Jong-nam, if you guys know about that.
Oh, shit.
Look at
all smart over here.
Yeah. See, I've been learning.
That was crazy.
So this is a third show you're doing now?
No, it's the same channel, just a new segment. You know how it is.
Okay.
Wait, it's on the show? Like it's part of, you say it's a segment in the show that you already
something like that, yeah. Just
all right.
Check it out.
XG, we love you expanding.
Huh?
What's it called?
The XG Files.
The XG.
I see what you did.
I like that, dude. I like that. Good marketing, bro. Good marketing. 3 episodes a week of premium content. Johnny, tell us about the Patreon, Cash Daddies.
Yeah, Cash Daddies Patreon. It's a fantastic community of people who are looking to secure their futures financially there.
Johnny, can we put, like, can I put a link on my Twitter to each post that he puts up? Are you allowed to post?
You can share a link. Yeah. It'll just show the preview text, but sure.
Yeah, that's fine. Send it to me. I'll start doing that. So
I can't send it to you. He'll have to send it to you. It doesn't happen automatically. Somebody would. I don't know when he posts. So
gross, Johnny.
You'd have to ask him to do that.
Is he killing it?
Killing it.
Yeah.
Sounded really.
That 2 weeks. I mean, it was hard for everybody like a week ago, but it's better now.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's guaranteed, dude. But if you want to make money, go to Cash Daddies. T-shirts.com.
It's more about the education, though, I think.
T-shirts are available. This new T-shirt, Modern Day Prophet, Peanut Butter Hair Tripoli. I think it's a funny-ass shirt.
Oh, by the way, guys, bring cash because you're going to have a new mystery T-shirt this month.
A new mystery T-shirt.
Bring the cash.
And you can't see it when you buy it. You have to leave with it.
He'll take it back. I've seen him just be like, give me that back.
I'll take it back and resell it. You think I'm kidding, dude? PSYOP season takes no days off. Wood Army for the real ones. If you're a real one, you love the Wood Army.
These are $20. Come on, people. $20 T-shirts.
Make you holla. Go back and let's go to our Chaos Twins are on fire right now. It's almost done. Second episode. I know I've been saying it. I want to talk about our good friend at Live Longer Formula. That's right.
Christian
Yordanov. Get your fat ass in gear. I got to start doing that too. I'm gaining weight at an unhealthy rate. Got to get in shape. I want to TRT it, dude.
Just do it. I guarantee it.
My hair falls out, I'll be so
pissed. Who
cares? Shave my head.
Who cares?
What if I don't have a nice head?
Okay, I would honestly rather be bald with energy, kind of a little yoked, instead of just be
fat with full hair.
Yeah, because at that age.
Is that why you want to do it? Because you feel you don't feel like
I
you're
have no energy.
Yeah, it's gonna get.
I would like to examine your sleep cycle.
I sleep pretty good. I'm really amazed that I sleep through the night.
Because you text me at like 4 a.m., sometimes 5 a.m., and I'm the only person I know who's awake.
The only thing I do think you need a sleep apnea machine.
Stop.
Does he snore like crazy? Oh, you should get checked for it. Really,
I will not. I'm not going to wear a Darth Vader
Well, they're so
mask.
much better. They've advanced.
Okay,
They
I'll
have
go
like
look
an
at it.
implant they can put in that just fixes it.
Check out Wise Wolf Gold and Silver.
It's a dental implant. Adjust your jaw position.
Okay, thank you.
Solves
And then what
Serious,
else?
cause heart problems and stuff. You gotta get checked out, bro.
Harley Ray, crystals and candles.
I'm worried about you.
Some of our favorite people in the most beautiful website. Go check it out.
Do you realize this whole operation falls apart if you die?
We need your life, Sam.
Yeah, bro, we gotta keep you going. Like even if we have to weekend at Bernie's your ass because you're tired all the time, we'll do it.
Sit here, rot flies going around me.
I told you I got that AI going, man. I can get your voice pretty good.
Yeah, we're just going strictly to audio now.
Like at the other,
Sam doesn't want to be on camera
the other
anymore.
day at the end of what was it at the end of the read for Copy My Crypto? You said like literally exact opposite. What was it? It was like instead of help, you said it can cost you money. Basically, at the end of the I can't. It's some word that
Johnny, I hate you.
Oh no, it's ended worry monies for so many as well. And you said it's extended money worries for so many.
Okay.
And
I'm an idiot.
I had to use an old thing of you, but I'm gonna start using AI from now on.
Guys, you go to check out Chemical Free Body. I took the supplements today. I loved it. It makes me feel good. Gives me the little energy in this dead ass body.
You don't need testosterone replacement. You got chemical free body, bro.
I love it. It's great. I can't recommend it enough. I take it every day, and when I don't take it, I feel it. Tim James is crushing it. Good friend of the show. We love him. Live, die laughing. Don't die. Just live. Live laughing. Okay? And then finally...
Live, die laughing.
Don't die, dude.
Die laughing.
Don't die. If you love how well our good friend XG is doing on the show, we can thank one group only, Brain Supreme. You gotta get in this microdosing. It's changed this guy's life.
Changing my life.
He's now got a serious show, reporting and deep research. It's like unbelievable. Bro, I'm going to do some research with a chick with fat cans.
Can you Google? Okay. I want you to Google.
I love his Mexican voice.
Kim Jong Nam.
Yeah, I love how your Mexican accent went Korean as you were doing it.
There's no way to say Kim Jong Nam and not sound
Kim Jong Un. They do it. This guy was like an asshole and shit. Okay, guys, love the Mexicans. Anything else, guys?
Just hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a review, please.
Check out Broken Simulation. Please subscribe. If you leave a 5-star review and tweet at us, we'll follow you back on Twitter.
Yeah, we will.
And we read them all on the podcast.
We do. As long as it's 5-star, you can say whatever shit you want.
Oh, you guys went over the Kanye thing? That's weird how he literally had his daughter on the list.
No, a list of people who betrayed him? Yeah, that's strange, yeah.
It's sad, but he's still the best, guys.
And he's got $20... Bro's got $20 shoes. So.
All right, enjoy the highlights.
Oh, we're not going to finish the... You said we were coming back.
I'm good.
crazy episode here for you guys. We did a bunch of doom scrolling. We ran into a video of this guy catching a lady of the night giving some head in the back of his house. And she gets shot with a paintball gun. Then, for some reason, we ran into some video of some girl licking a toilet seat at the Now Center. It's guaranteed it's not the Now Center. And for some reason, I don't know why, we got a bunch of tortas, a bunch of crazy-ass chicks, a bunch of cheating-ass whores. It's a crazy-ass episode, guys. You guys can hear Jane laugh. It's a good one. We'll be right back, guys. Welcome back to the #1 podcast in the world. It's your boy Actually Marks the Spot, and like always, I got my #1 producer / graphic designer, Chili Millie. What's up, guys? I had a lazy weekend. It rained. That's why I'm wearing a beanie season. So all I did was fuck, I can't even talk today. All I did was a bunch of doom scrolling. Like, all I did was send Chili shit, send the homies a bunch of shit. My girl wasn't on. She's like, get off your phone. But I sent you some good ones, huh, Chili?
Yeah, you did. You want to go straight into it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it. I don't have no rave events to show these people. Oh, look what I did today. Look what I did this weekend.
All right. So you sent me this one, which I thought was funny. Hold on. I'm just going to do it like this. Fuck it.
I just found a bag of meth over there.
Really? No, where?
Yeah, over there. I picked it up.
You did?
Yeah.
Like Pete Davidson.
Let's go.
He did.
You
I
want
know. Like a
I get. I mean, we
Look
just
at
go
him,
get
look at
him.
What are you putting gloves on for?
What? Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
Matt. Aw, you dog.
What?
I bet you that's on Carrot
What'd
Top.
you
Were
think
you
it
giving
was?
those away, really? No.
I thought maybe a kid had lost
Oh
it or
my God.
something. What's the matter? You're messing around with me, aren't you?
I thought you said bag of
Oh, Lord, no. No, Lord, no. What's up with the clown? Huh? Got him. Love y'all.
Golly, you're
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. He looks like a crackhead.
He does.
He looks like 100%. You remember in the last episode, the girl that was dishwashed, the salesman for the dishwashers?
Yeah.
That looks like her son.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What state do you think that is?
Huh?
What state do you think that is? Because that other guy looked like a crackhead, too.
Wait up. It looked like what's the Nate Dogs?
What?
No, it's called Dogs on a Stick. Where's that restaurant at the mall? It looks like that restaurant. Or Lemonade.
Oh, Wetzel's Pretzels.
Not Wetzel's
Nate
Pretzels.
Dog.
The other one, or Dog on a Stick, or Hot Dog on a Stick.
Hot
or
dog
corn
on a stick?
Something like that. It looks like they work there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that
Jesus.
fool was stoked.
It looked
He
like
thought-
a grocery store.
And it's so funny because he thought he was just going to get free meth.
He was so excited.
He was so excited.
Like he found money on the floor
No,
or something.
he was so excited that someone else found it. That's how much of a crack kid you are. You're like, "Oh, he found it.
His
Fuck
eyes
yeah."
were all big.
Yeah, he's like he's gonna partake in the doing of that.
Even the other guy. That's funny. Have you ever had that happen?
I've never really found meth at work because I've worked at regular jobs. No, but one time it is crazy. I was working at this one restaurant, and like mid break, I go in the restroom and I go in there and I find a gun.
Really?
Straight up Glock. There, I'm trying to take a piss, and I look to my right, and I see a gun, and I work there. So, at the same time, I know not to touch it. Because if I touch it, all of a sudden, I'm a suspect in whatever crime that gun participated in. So I sit there, and I walk, and I, like, open the door. I'm like, yo, can you call someone? Call, like, another coworker. Like, what's up? And I was like, just call someone, please. And then I was like, my bad. I meant like a manager.
Because you need, I was like, you just need a witness?
My bad. No, my bad. I meant like a GM. My bad. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Probably like, what?
No, I was like, I was called one of the GMs, and the GM shows up, and he's like, what's going on? Like, through the bathroom. And I'm like, yo, I found a gun in here. He's like, for real? And he's like, yeah. And I'm here because if I leave, like, let's say I leave to go tell you, and a kid walks in, and now the kid has the gun, and they're like, you fucking idiot. So I kind of like,
Could you imagine if a kid went in there like and used the bathroom instead of you, and then like,
Well,
that's scary.
And yeah, exactly. They're lucky. I mean, not that they're lucky, but thank God I found it.
They are lucky.
Yeah, thank God I found it. So I sit there and I'm like, because I could have easily just
at
pocketed
least
it.
I
could have just pocketed it. I also could have just pocketed it.
Yeah.
I could have just stole it or not.
Sold it or something.
Or sold, but so
Damn, that would.
Yeah. So my GM shows up and he's like, so what's going on? I'm like, yo, gun in the bathroom. I don't want to be like a suspect, so I'm not touching it. And I mean, you touch it. I mean, you're the owner. This is your establishment. So you figure this out. Dude, while I'm talking to the fucking GM through the door, guy starts like, you can tell it's his gun. Like you can tell, like, you know, when you've lost your keys or maybe you lost your kid and you're beelining it to, you can just see this guy and he kind of just like move out the way. And then we're like, you're looking for your gun? And he's like, yeah, full undercover.
Oh my God.
You know how much in trouble he could have got? Undercover, left his gun. I guess he got to take a piss. He placed it down on the, wherever you wash your hands or whatever. And he just walked out.
The sink?
Forgot, yeah.
You forgot what a sink was? Did you forget what a sink was?
Whatever, chilling. Had a long weekend. In other ways.
That's funny.
But
funny.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy. If a little kid found that and it was a cop's gun,
no,
like, you would have been paid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, not if they shot themselves or something, but like just having it.
Yeah, but
and
no.
then stole it.
I
or
mean,
if you sold it and then you sold a cop's cop a gun.
But I mean, like what do you do as a cop? Who do you call? Hey guys, I lost my gun.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, or because you have to call the department at the end of the day. Because what if someone ends up using that in a crime?
Yeah.
Guess who's the first suspect? Yours. It's your gun. Why is your gun at that
establishment
or that shooting of so and so?
Yeah.
But you've never had anything like that. I mean, you ever found meth?
Drugs. Yeah,
you found baggies?
I found drugs at work, but then I just put it in a trash bag and throw it away.
What'd you find?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck.
Like pills, meth looking shit.
Pipes in like the bag that they keep everything in.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah,
they'll hide it
bag.
in the aisles, like because cops will come through, and then they'll hide it in the aisles. And then when I'm cleaning the aisles, I'll find like the bags, but I don't know what anything is. So I just grab a glove and a lot of needles. You find a lot of used needles. It's disgusting. I don't even work in a bad area, by the way. It sounds every time we talk about it on the show, it sounds like I work like in some fucking Skid Row or like.
It's just LA's crazy. Like LA is just in general.
I work in Orange County. I don't even work in LA.
I mean, I live in Glendale, super nice spot in LA, and I can tell you about crazy moments where I've seen someone take a shit on the street.
Yeah,
it's just
weird.
It's LA, you know, it's horrible.
I saw this video of this cop, and I didn't send it to you because I wanted to save it to see what you thought. I thought it was funny. Hold on.
More cop shit?
More cop shit.
Dude, cops are always in the muck.
Dude.
My name's on it. Because this is my home, I pay the bills, the mortgage in my name. I'm just trying to figure out why when I pull in at 1 o'clock in the morning that there's a police officer at my house. Officer, what's your name and badge number, sir? Name and badge number, sir?
No, what are you doing?
Name and badge number, sir?
It's case number.
Case? Badge number?
6596.
That's it? All right, thank you, sir. Why were you dispatched out here tonight?
I wasn't dispatched.
Why was you called out here tonight?
Please come over.
One more time, what's your name and badge number?
Case number.
And you're putting on your uniform and everything?
What?
Yeah, y'all just got them fucking.
You're disgusting.
My son's in here sleeping, and
Disgusting, bro.
Vanessa, I'm filing a lawsuit, and you know I got the money, baby girl. My son's in here sleeping right now. And there's an officer that just got back. Hey, so what's the time, officer? Can you tell me the time right now?
Dude, she asked me to come over, bro.
Officer, can you see the time on your wrist and tell me what the time is right now?
And I can't tell
You are a servant.
Yeah.
I pay my taxes.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the time is right now? And you're putting on your body cam that you took off to fuck my old lady.
I didn't have sex with her, man.
Is there a body cam that's been put on? Look how sweaty his face is. Has there been a body cam that's been put on since you've been here? Vanessa, on my son.
You're crazy,
Sit down, baby
bro.
girl.
You're crazy.
Hey, you can see your way out. Whoa, hey, one more time, officer. What was you dispatched here for?
I already told you, buddy.
You never told me. It's been on camera the whole time. Punk ass bitch. Get on, nigga.
Dang. He turned gangster at the end as he's walking out.
Damn.
What do you do?
Dude, those are fucking definitely sex sweats.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's not too much sweat, but you know it's just coming out. You know you're like 10 minutes in this round number 1. Those are sex sweats. I guarantee you, dude. Fuck.
What do you do if you catch a cop?
The only fucked up part is he's in his uniform. Other than that, I don't think there's any. I mean, I don't know.
That's crazy, right?
Can he?
But
really?
I mean, how much of a bitch are you where you're just like name and badge number? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't,
dude, because you still got to be careful. He's still a cop. Like
But
at the end of the day,
still.
he's still a cop. He's still a cop. You don't know.
True,
Next thing you know,
yeah.
he shoots you, and guess who ends up fucking your wife and you dead in your own home?
That's why you own the house.
That's why you own the house. See what I mean? See what I mean?
That's funny.
See what I mean? Why is he fucking there?
That sucks, dude.
Yeah,
That's funny though.
Dude, yeah, but she's
mean,
fired
that's-
too though.
Huh?
She's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty cute.
Yeah.
I don't know if. Dude, what's up with these cops just banging?
I mean, they're cops.
Yeah, I mean you do. I mean you do feel like you have power. I'd feel like I have a little bit of power.
She probably had a ticket.
Because I mean, let's for real. How often do girls try to get out of tickets? I'm
Always.
pretty sure it's pretty often.
Yeah. You,
Or
never
some-
see, you see those videos too. Oh, I should have saved a bunch of more cop stuff, but I don't like messing with cops.
Yeah,
It's
no, we
scary.
love the cops over here. Shout
Yeah.
out to the cops.
I don't even
We
want
do
like
not
that.
defund the police over here. Fund them motherfuckers.
This one, Rob sent it to us, and so I thought it was funny. I saved it.
This one, I forgot. I'm telling you, it was a doom scrolling weekend.
Oh, you cheat.
$150 each time.
Per night?
Yes.
How often do we nut? Can you do that daily?
You have to wait 48 hours in between nuts.
Oh, you gotta save up?
You gotta save up and you gotta be a good eater and not party.
But you're always going to the clubs and stuff.
Well, a lot of the times the clubs are to support my friends.
So you can do it 182 times a year.
You get 120 each time, but then once you've done 10 submissions, they pay you $300 out. And then you just restart the next batch.
Oh, $140? That sounds like a retirement plan. 25,000.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim. So, did you see Roger Waters this week? Really ripped into Bono, like ripped him a new asshole, bro, and it's fabulous because Bono sucks.
You know
He
what
just
Bono
sucks.
did? Nothing, because he's an empty vessel of stupid.
All the people. By the way, if you want to see an incredible stage show, go see Roger Waters anywhere and anytime. So here it is. Let me just. All right, let me refresh this because of stupid Instagram. The way. Here we go.
Be Irish and not be outspoken for Palestine.
He's an idiot. Bono's
Is he
a
an idiot?
complete prick. He goes to. I nearly used the F bomb then.
Okay, you can.
He goes to Davos for fuck's sake.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, and he did stuff with George
Yeah,
W. Bush.
he just loves
Dude,
living.
he's
Yeah,
buns.
he goes
He's
to
bought, dude.
George W. Bush's ranch and hangs out with his pal. Are you insane, Bono? I'll answer that, Bono. Yes, you know, mate.
Right.
And it's not all right. It's terrible.
No, it's terrible. Yeah.
But if you'll be in a band with a bloke who calls himself The Hedge, I mean, what can you expect?
The Hedge or the Edge?
I thought it was called The Hedge.
No, the Edge.
I know that. I know.
Oh, you're
that's
making a joke. Sorry.
a little bit. Yeah. I
You know what?
apologize.
Because I thought, Canadians put H's, French Canadians put H's where there is no H and cut off the H where there is. Yeah.
There you
So, okay,
go.
the hedge. Okay. I get it. He's
Old
hedging his
guys will
bets.
put up
I
with
don't know
anything
if he
that
is
chicks
or not.
do.
I don't know if he's
He's
even
like,
a betting man.
okay, because Canadians. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, I
should
stepped
be
on
like,
you.
You
You
didn't
stepped
get
on my
the
joke.
joke.
Yeah.
But I'm old and you're young, and I'll put up with anything you want. It's like any guy over 50, any chick in their 30s or 20s are just princesses. There's nothing you do. They can't do anything wrong.
Yeah, and
It's
that
like
Roger
almost-
Waters, famously impatient guy. For him to be patient with that one. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's the joke. Well, if it was me or you, he'd be like, "You bloody idiot!
You stepped all over my joke, you twat."
My joke. If I come in your town, I'll kick your ass."
I love, dude. My thought about that though. Seeing him, is like that's how I want to age. I want to age with rage. Just
Today I woke up with rage, so I'm there, Johnny.
you know what I mean? I just love that. I mean, he still is just as passionate about his beliefs as he was. I don't agree with him on everything, but he's damn right on Gaza and Israel and all. And he has been forever, even when it wasn't fashionable just a couple of years ago. He was right. He was spot on about
Johnny,
it.
do you think the commenter God of F word is a hot chick? Can we all pray she's a hot chick and not
God
the
of
dude?
F word? Why does she say you're cute or something?
No, but she said nice things. Can we go? Oh, please.
God of F word sounds like a really smoking hot chick. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
U2
dude,
is
when
for Democrats. Yeah, you're right about that. U2 is just.
Oh
for
my God, Johnny!
cuck
Did you see
Democrats.
the Katie Porter video?
Katie Porter.
Yeah, look
don't-
it up.
I don't
on
know who that
Twitter.
is.
Oh my God, this fat chick's running for governor. She's a fatty.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh
you told me
my
about this.
God, This is someone said this, you know, the I'm gonna mess up the quote, but it's basically along the lines of the meanest people on the internet turn out to be the nicest people, and the nicest people on the internet turn out to be pure scumbags. Everything is cosplaying now. It's all cosplaying.
This is where she's telling that person to F out of the way. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I would love to hear the original, not this censored shit from CNN. But let me.
Oh, this is
shot.
Video obtained by Politico shows California gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter ripping a staffer.
The price of Revlimid would also increase your bonus by increasing earnings. Isn't that right, Mr. Ellis?
Stop it. Did you hear what she said there? Will you go back to that, Johnny?
Yeah.
She thought she got him on something. Listen to what she says.
Any increase in the price of Revlimid would also increase your bonus by increasing earnings. Isn't that right, Mr. Ellis?
Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that a gotcha thing?
Yeah, I mean it's obvious. Yeah, of course.
Are you making more money when your company makes more money? Damn you, man! Don't you have any conscience?
Oh my God, go on.
That's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't make a commitment to aviation, there's climate worry.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shop before that. Stay out of my shop.
Is this what we're?
Coincidence that there's a gas station right where
It's like the new L in here.
Yes, 100%, Johnny. That's all, and that's not even the bad interview. She gets pressed on something about Trump voters,
Oh, really?
and she just goes, "I don't need them." If you find
God.
it, it's like
Oh,
an
I'll find
incredibly
it.
bad. She just bombs it out. It almost cost her her whole. It probably cost her any chance of running. It's crazy to me. It's like, dude, all of these bleeding heart liberals. Keep going down, you'll find it.
I don't know. It's dangerous to scroll through Twitter these days with
like,
what is that?
Katie Porter interview. Let's see.
Hold on, let me just stop the share while I look for this.
Katie
Porter.
Porter.
I wrote Katie Portner. I'm a dumbass.
Katie Portner appreciates the traffic.
Katie Porker, am I right?
Katie Porker.
Katie Porter interview. And what it's like a podcast, or what is it?
She goes on and she's interviewed by this reporter who is actually doing actual journalism for
Somebody
once.
said she looks like Kathy Bates. And they're totally right about that. And Misery.
Yeah, that's a weird angle of it.
It
Go
was the
down.
allegation of groomer and pedophile. It is alleging that.
Nope, go down.
Tell me.
Go down. Go down. Oh, go up.
This?
No, those are that is that screenshot. Yeah, any of these work. Any of these where
So
she's
on
in the
election
green?
night,
No, go back.
I
Go back.
went to
go
pick
back.
up my
Sorry.
daughter from water.
This. That's
Yeah,
a screen,
yeah,
that's an
but
image.
that's screenshot. Yeah, that won't be it.
Let's see. Sorry, folks, we didn't have this one ready. It's got to be this, right?
If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody. That this
By the way, could there possibly in the history of angles be a least flattering angle of a person than this woman?
Well,
in
they're
profile?
talking about how her staff hates her, so they totally set her up to look like an idiot.
That's
is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that.
Well, to those voters. Okay, so
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
Okay.
Thank you.
See, guys, listen to me, Democratic idiots, Democrats. Okay, let me tell you something. You can't win if you can't have a discussion or debate. You can't win. You can't win honestly. So have you seen this new Prop 50 bill where they're sending out the ballot with a little hole in the envelope that lets them know what you voted on Prop 50? Now, I'm wondering if this is an old picture because they did that in They did that in the presidential election as well. But supposedly, if you vote no on Prop 50, the envelope will show that you voted no because there's a little hole in it.
Well, here, this is a news story from just a couple of days ago. That's from like the local CBS station in Sacramento. It says Sacramento County ballot envelope holes draw concerns ahead of Prop 50 special election. Mail-in ballots are now out for Prop 50 special election, and some Sacramento County voters are noticing holes in their ballot envelopes that they say they're concerned about. Yeah, and you can totally see right there which
Where
way
they
you voted.
voted. Right?
What possible purpose? If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
Go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hack.